The word genocide carries tremendous moral weight. It was coined in the 1940s to describe the Holocaust and other systematic attempts to destroy entire people groups and even religious communities. Today, some are applying this term to Israel's war in Gaza. And as a Jewish believer who spent 50 years in Jewish ministry, I feel a deep obligation to address this issue. The question is, do the facts actually support such a grave and grievous charge? So let's evaluate the input of two experts and reflect upon some of what they have to say. One is a war scholar and the other a veteran journalist. First, let's be clear about what genocide actually means. According to the UN Genocide Convention, as mentioned, genocide requires the intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group as such. Note these keywords, intent and as such, meaning targeting people simply because of who they are and not what they've done, maybe just because of what they believe. This is a high legal bar, and for good reason. War is tragic. Civilian deaths are heartbreaking, but war itself is not genocide. John Spencer, a 25-year infantry veteran and urban warfare expert, puts it like this. He has seen no evidence of genocidal intent. Instead, he's witnessed soldiers taking dangerous risks to avoid harming civilians and missions delayed because children were nearby and troops ordered not to return fire when civilians might be harmed. Journalist Bret asks a very provocative but important question. He says, if Israel truly intended genocide, why isn't the death toll significantly higher? Israel has the capacity to inflict much greater destruction upon Gazans, but they don't. They care. Spencer notes that Israel has delivered more humanitarian aid to an enemy population during wartime than any military in history, over 1.8 million tons of aid. This is not the behavior of a military committing genocide. Let's put this in perspective. The Korean War killed 2 million civilians, 54,000 a month. The fight against ISIS leveled entire cities and killing an estimated 11,000 civilians over 9 months. And nobody feels good about it, but it happens during war. None of these were called genocide because the intent was not to destroy a people simply for who they were. Context matters, intent matters, and truth matters. Calling Israel's actions genocide isn't just wrong, it's actually dangerous. It equates modern Israel with Nazi Germany. Let me say that again. It equates modern Israel with Nazi Germany, fueling a new wave of anti-Semitism that targets not just Israeli policy, but any Jewish person who supports Israel's right to exist. More broadly, if we label every military situation we dislike a genocide, we risk diluting the meaning of the word, and we cannot afford to cheapen the term genocide. When real genocides occur, and they do, we need this term to carry its full moral weight. The war in Gaza is horrific and tragic, but tragedy is not genocide. People suffering is not genocide. We can debate how this war should end without falsely accusing Israel of history's most heinous crime. The truth matters too much for anything else. Has Israel committed genocide? The answer that I see, that Spencer sees, that Stephan sees, and that thousands upon thousands who understand what's happening in Gaza right now, the way they see it, the way I see it, is no. Israel is not committing genocide. God bless you. Shalom. Thank you. Let's pray for the peace of Jerusalem.